don't forget that the Northeast was looked as the last vanguard of India. It is only Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji that has made it the first vanguard of India. The capital expenditure by the central government in the Northeast 8 states was 24,000 crores. In 10 years, that has gone to over 1,02,000 crores. NH10 is the lifeline of Sikkim. The Chief Minister has also proposed a alternative routing on the East Bank, which, as I mentioned to you, the central government has also, in principle, is examining it as we speak, will be under the NHAI in any case.
The people of Manipur claim that there's been no healing touch. There's nobody to try to bridge that gap between the two communities.
This is something that has been not something that has just engulfed the state today. This has been something that's been going on for a long time. It is our endeavor and our effort to make sure that tranquility, peace and harmony does build. So we've grown up speaking Nepalese, we've grown up eating Nepali food, whether it's tama, gundruk, whether it's aloo, tareko, whether it is kalo dal, mamri bhat, I mean number of issues. So Nepalese is very close to my heart and my family's heart. Nepali khana asadhyo ramro cha baba.
Hello and welcome. You're with EastMojo. Time now for a special interview, and it's also important. We are, as you can see, in a car driving on the highway towards NH10, very important, the lifeline of Sikkim. We are going towards Bagdogra Airport, and my guest today needs no introduction. He is the Minister for DoNER, Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Karma, it's very good to see you again, and I'm glad to see you prospering in the Northeast. That's what's Prime Minister's plan for the Northeast, to make the Northeast prosperous so that India prospers. So it's good to see you again, and I'd also like to say hello through you to all our viewers. And it's my pleasure to be in the Northeast and my pleasure to be in Sikkim.
So I said that, your visit to Sikkim was an important one, I think, because you're the first cabinet minister to come after Sikkim has been hit by natural disaster. NH10 was closed almost for several months, and you've yourself, despite the weather being good, personally undertaken this road journey. You've seen firsthand how bad the road is towards the West Bengal side, and we've been cut off. The Chief Minister of Sikkim has said the loss to the tune of 100 crores. We didn't get tourists now. Now, as far as that critical issue is concerned, do you have any plans from your ministry or the government of India to look at our highway problem and solve it?
Yes, absolutely. Natural calamities are extremely disturbing to people's lives across the country, whether it's the Northeast, whether it's the hilly regions of Himachal and Uttarakhand, whether it's J&K. And I think both governments, the state government as well as the central government, is trying to do their best to make sure that we bring things back to normalcy as soon as possible. NH10 is the lifeline of Sikkim. The Chief Minister has also proposed a alternative routing on the East Bank for one section of the highway. Ministry of Road Transport has, in principle, also approved that project. I think it's important as denudation is taking place that an alternate is also built. And so both state government and central government are committed to finding a solution to this.
But the problem is, most part of the highway that is damaged lies towards the Bengal side. Do you think this issue is...
So your question is more from a latitude perspective. My answer was more from a longitude perspective. As far as the latitude perspective is concerned, whether it lies on the West Bengal side or lies on the Sikkim side or lies in whichever domain, I think it's important to be able to make it serviceable, and the alternative route that the Chief Minister has proposed on the East Bank, which, as I mentioned to you, the central government has also, in principle, is examining it as we speak, will be under the NHAI in any case.
That's good news. Now, you talked about the other important connectivity, which is the airports. Now, Pakyong Airport was a challenging airport, tabletop airport, built at a great cost. Engineering, yes, it's one of the most beautiful airports. But the sad part is that because the weather, operations get cancelled all the time, and I know you can do nothing about the weather. But since you are also the aviation minister, and we don't have Cat 3B, are there any systems or anything we can do to increase flights or get airlines to come?
Whether we go into Cat 3B or Cat 2, or all of this has a bearing on the amount of land that is required to enable those instrument landing systems to be put in place. And as you yourself mentioned, it's a tabletop airport. So the first thing that you're starting off with is a limitation in terms of the land availability. If the state government provides that land, I see no reason why the Ministry of Civil Aviation will not put that instrument landing system in place. But the issue in most of airports like these are to do with the limited land availability.
I will break it up now very quickly with a lighter question. I don't want you to strain too much also looking at the back, so you can look ahead.
Yesterday, I was driving up. I was working all the way through for 2.5 hours. And Karma, you're absolutely right. I totally forgot about this point. So 2 hours into my drive, I suddenly started getting a little bit of vertigo.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. I've told all my whole team that I will work on the flight back, but on the road back I should look straight. Otherwise, I'll end up with vertigo.
Yeah, you should look straight. I will keep asking you questions, but be comfortable. Look straight. My next question is on your speech today. Very interesting because Mr. Saab here spoke entirely in Nepali, and I must compliment him on his Nepali. It's very good. And you spoke about some of your favorite foods. You said you love, I think, the piro aloo, the red aloo, and ningro. Surprising because very few people know about ningro. How do you know about ningro?
I've spent many years growing up in Nepal. A lot of my blood is also Nepalese. My mother is from Nepal. My father's mother, my grandmother, Rajmata Jyotiraditya Scindia, was half Nepalese. So we have a lot of Nepalese influence also in my family. My wife's mother is also from Nepal. And so we've grown up speaking Nepalese, we've grown up eating Nepali food, whether it's tama, gundruk, whether it's aloo, tareko, whether it is kalo dal, mamri bhat, I mean number of issues. So Nepalese is very close to my heart and my family's heart.
So anyone going to visit the minister must take some gundruk and ningro and all next time.
And I wouldn't mind some Jimmur and Timur also.
No, I promise. We've got timbur and nimbur, so I'll get that.
Nepali khana sadhyo ramro cha baba.
Now to a more serious question of concern. In your visit to Guwahati, you said that you once again talked about that look east policy being act east policy, but increasingly it is looking difficult because of the situation in Manipur. The violence continues. I don't know when it will stop. The coup in Myanmar. Now Bangladesh is in turmoil again. So it is looking difficult, isn't it, sir?
See, in any journey, there are going to be vicissitudes. But the important point to understand is for the Prime Minister, Purvodaya and Purvottar is very clearly the strategy on which finally India will rise. If our ambition, as Prime Minister has always said, is to ensure a Viksit Bharat and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Don't forget that the Northeast was looked as the last vanguard of India. It is only Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji that has made it the first vanguard of India. And therefore, India's last villages in the Northeast or in Uttarakhand or in Himachal have now become India's first villages. And therefore, the whole narrative has changed. And don't forget at the end of the day, Karma, that the first rays of the sun that hit India don't hit any state in the plains. They hit Arunachal Pradesh. And that's why it's called the land of the rising sun. And therefore, the importance that has been given to the Northeast by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let me give you a few examples. In 2014-15, the capital expenditure by the central government in the Northeast 8 states was 24,000 crores. In 10 years, that has gone to over 1,02,000 crores in 23-24. If you look at the railways, where 66 kilometers of gauge were put in place in 14-15, today you have almost 186 kilometers of gauge, 3-time increase. 2,000 crores was the capex on an annual basis on railways in 2014-15. Today it is close to 10,000 crores. That's a 5x increase. The same for national highways. 45,000 villages have been connected by roads. Almost 50,000 crores have been spent. The same in my ministry in telecom. Almost 4,500 villages have been connected with almost 3,500 towers costing almost 4,000 crores. So there has been all-round developmental focus, and the fact that 10% of gross budgetary support from 55 line ministries comes to the Northeast, that eventually results in tremendous progress, which is monitored on a project-by-project basis by DoNER. And I've seen some of the projects that have come up even in Sikkim. साध्यो राम्रो projects को कल्पना भइसक्यो अनि क्रियान्वयन पनि भइसक्यो. Whether it is the skywalk project, whether it is the ropeway project, whether it is the hospital in Gangtok, where we've approved, we're going to approve almost about 170 crores. Whether it is the medical college I meant, whether it is the 500-bed hospital that in Namchi that the Chief Minister has proposed at a cost of almost about 147 crores. So these are huge mega flagship projects. I talked to you about the railway project. If you look at waterways, we had only one waterway in 2014. We have 20 waterways now. So there has been not substantial progress. There has been monumental progress only under one Prime Minister, and that is PM Narendra Modi.
You know, there's no ways about it. I mean, it's definite, because I have seen it for myself.
Even in the area of airports, we had 9 airports in 2014-15. We have 17 airports now. Two states did not have an airport for 75 years of India's independence. Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Today we have got Pakyong and we've got 3 airports in Arunachal Pradesh. So there's been a transformation.
So there's certainly been a transformation. I mean, I can say it firsthand, because I've traveled to the remotest part of the Northeast, and I've seen villages where internet and telephone service is faster than Delhi and Mumbai, because the user base is so low, and you've put towers everywhere. So that's the roads which has not been connected ever since independence. Those villages are connected like Tali. I've seen it myself. Now, but when it comes to Manipur, you know, right from the time the violence started to today, the people of Manipur claim that there's been no healing touch. There's nobody to try to bridge that gap between the two communities. Can the DoNER minister make the Kuki and the Meitei MLAs sit together and talk?
My mandate is really on development and progress. And I'm someone who sticks to my mandate. This ministry's responsibility is to ensure 2 things. One, work with every state government to try and actualize on their dream and their vision, bring it into reality. Second, with our budget of almost 6,500 crores per year, look at grassroots development, mega projects as well as small projects. Third, look at the execution of 10% gross budgetary support of 55 line ministries of Government of India, which is 1,02,000 crores. as far as the Manipur state status is concerned, this is something that has been not something that has just engulfed the state today. This has been something that's been going on for a long time. It is our endeavor and our effort to make sure that tranquility, peace, and harmony does build. And Government of India is putting its best foot forward, along with the state government, to make sure that it happens.
Right. Now, let's talk about development. It's very, very important for the Northeast. I would just like to know, because the moment a new donor minister comes, everybody gets very excited, There's a lot of hope, and especially there is hope from you because, you are young, you can travel like you've come yesterday and you're going back today on this road. What is your vision really? What do you plan to do in your tenure? What are the important things that you will tackle?
So I think it's important to, first of all, understand the requirement, vision of each state. I don't think it's necessary to come up with one's own vision. It has to be in conjunction with every state government. And I have suggested a way forward where we look at within the Northeast each state's comparative and competitive advantage in certain areas. Then we look vis-a-vis the rest of India. So that particular state again vis-a-vis the balanced 35 states and union territories of India, comparative and competitive advantage. And then along with its neighbors, international neighbors, comparative and competitive advantage. And through that matrix or paradigm, if you will flow a path forward. And that's only possible once all 8 state governments come on board, which is my effort at this point of time. I have spoken with the Meghalaya Chief Minister and he's very excited about it, and the Assam Chief Minister, and he too is excited about it. I have had this conversation today with the Chief Minister of Sikkim, and he's also on board. And once I do my first round of all the 8 states and make sure that all CMs are on board, then we will pursue down that path.
Right. Okay. Final question. Will you be traveling more now to the northeastern states?
Oh, that's not a question. That's a given. I have to. That's my mandate. So you'll see much more of me, and I shall be keeping a tab on your weight.
Thank you so much. So that was DoNER Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia talking to us about the current state of play and the development that he's going to play. And once again, I just want to highlight the point that he's traveled by road to see firsthand how bad NH10 is. So we certainly hope that there is change and our highways become better. Thanks for watching.